the Batman. He's at home, washing his tights.
The quest for the DCU Batman continues. Hello everyone, this is Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, a fan of the DCU, Batman, Superman, and more, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it with you all the time. And before we get into this video, let me know in the comments down below who you would like to see play the Dark Knight in the DCU. Names, of course, have been thrown all over the place. Alan Richardson is one of the most popular ones that I see in the comments. Jensen Ackles is a big one as well. And Brendan Sklenar is the right now, I think he's the front runner for this. Everyone believes that he's got the part. Rumors are swirling around, but James Gunn still says that they are far away from production on Batman Brave and the Bold. They still have to figure out Batman, is what he is saying. They haven't quite figured out how to integrate him into the DCU and what version of the Dark Knight they are going to use in the DCU as well. Obviously, it's Brave and the Bold, but do you go a little bit more cartoony, or do you stick with a more serious, down-to-earth, grounded style Batman, which might be fun to see go up against David Corenswet Superman, but maybe not. Maybe something, I want that utility belt. I want green. I want gray. I want blue. And I want a big yellow utility belt with shark repellent, with his pills that have his costume in there, and anything he needs. I just want, maybe not that overboard, but I do want to go back to that Batman. I would love to see that Batman on the big screen once again, because we have the other Batman. We have Pattinson Batman as well. Have my cake and eat it too, or whatever. I can have it all with Batman and Batman in the DCU. But one name was brought up to James Gunn, and it's somebody that he decided to nix. Let's check this out right here. It's from comicbookmovie.com. James Gunn on possibly casting Chris Pratt as Batman. Speculation mounts. Dark Knight will debut in Peacemaker. I did my Peacemaker video last night. You can check that out where I discuss Batman possibly showing up in there. I'm not sure that's going to happen. At the start of 2023, DC Studios announced plans for 10 DCU movies and TV shows. Of the 5 movies, we've only had Superman, but Supergirl arrives next summer, along with a new addition to the slate, Clayface. Creature Commandos premiered late last year, and while Lanterns is right around the corner, Waller, Booster Gold, and Paradise Lost are stuck in limbo. Peacemaker Season 2, which wasn't announced as being part of Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, has come to fruition, though, and is expected to include some big surprises in its final few episodes. Earlier this summer, Gunn said that the second season of Peacemaker is very much connected to Superman, and it's very much connected to what comes after, and promised fans, really, really big cameo near the end of the show. Talking to Pelusian Elistouche, Gunn doubled down on that by saying, we have some really big stars from the DC universe that are going to be near the end of the season. We have some really big stars from the DC universe that are going to be near the end of the season. On social media, speculation is running wild, with many fans theorizing that the filmmaker is planning to introduce the DCU's Batman. If Gunn has secretly cast the Caped Crusader ahead of next year's Clayface movie, that would be a huge surprise and could explain why critics haven't been given access to the final 3 episodes. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We're not banking on a Batman cameo, neither am I. But the DC Studios co-CEO has confirmed that he has no intention of casting Guardians of the Galaxy star Chris Pratt as a Dark Knight. As Batman, no. As something else, yes, he teased. While that will come as a relief to many of you, Bruce Wayne not being cast means the Brave and the Bold is still no closer to becoming a reality. Over 3 years in, that means the extent of Batman's DCU presence boils down to a shadowy animated cameo in Creature Commandos. So James Gunn's official statement on Chris Pratt as Batman. As Batman, no. As something else, yes, which is something he said several times in the past. He is a fan of Chris Pratt. He loves collaborating with Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is one of the names that he brings up. He says John Cena and Chris Pratt are 2 big players that he loves working with, and he's always said that he's going to find a role for Chris Pratt in the DCU. I want to know what you guys think. Who would you like to see Chris Pratt play in the DCU? I've got a few names up here that I want to knock out. Obviously, he's not going to be playing Batman, Superman, or anything like that. But one name I'm going to cross off the list is Booster Gold. All leaks and accounts are showing that Kumail Nanjiani is going to be playing that role of Booster Gold. That's someone I could easily see making an appearance in Peacemaker season 2, along with Blue Beetle. If you bring Blue Beetle in, that you got an easy entry point for your Booster Gold. So I do see Booster Gold coming into the DCU, and probably Kumail Nanjiani in Peacemaker season 2 as that role. Because if you remember, months and months ago, he was at, I think, a baseball game or something with the cast of Superman. So there's a connection there, and I do think a lot of Superman characters are going to be making appearances in Peacemaker season 2. But I thought it'd be fun just to run down a few names of DC characters that Chris Pratt could play in the DCU. And remember, this is James Gunn's DCU. James Gunn. So I don't think, he deals a lot with a more obscure character. So I wanted to go, obviously there's not going to be super obscure, but the characters that, not the mainstays of it, no Flash or anything like that. But Wildcat, Ted Grant, an aging boxer turned superhero mentor. Pratt could continue his bulking up ways, be a little less comedic, and play a grizzled but still witty street-level hero who trains the next generation. Let's go a little bit more big now with Deadshot. Floyd Lawton. Pratt's Deadshot wouldn't be sleek like Will Smith's. Instead, he'd lean into this sardonic, fatalistic assassin vibe. Dark humor, grit, and a reluctant father angle would let him flex different acting muscles. I thought this one he would have a lot of fun with. Feels like this might be in James Gunn's wheelhouse, but I'm going to go with Sportsmaster. A villain who uses sports themes, weapons, tactics. Sounds goofy, but young Justice made him a terrifying mercenary dad. Pratt could deliver a physically imposing, brutal version with just the right amount of sarcasm. Dr. Polaris. A magnetism-powered villain, like a version of Magneto, but unhinged. Pratt could play him as dangerously unstable, bouncing between affable charm and explosive rage. The Question, Vic Sage. The faceless detective obsessed with conspiracy theories, Pratt could shed his goofy persona and lead into paranoia, giving a sharp, noir-style performance. And I'm going to end it off with my top choice. I just want this character to show up. He was in Black Adam, and we got the female version, but I want Hawkman. I want Chris Pratt to play Hawkman. Carter Hall. A reincarnated warrior with a temper. Pratt could channel his rugged side, balancing charm with brute force aggression. Seeing him in a more serious warrior role would be a great shift. Those are some characters I thought would be fun to see Chris Pratt play in the DCU. Obviously, there's a plethora. There's just like so many characters he could play and probably should play. And James Gunn knows Chris Pratt better than anyone else and knows what character he would fit in the role of more than all. But who would you like to see Chris Pratt play in the DCU? Because he's coming, like it or not, Chris Pratt's coming. Do people still like Chris Pratt? Is like Twitter still against him, or is that over with now and they've moved on to Sydney Sweeney? Is that what's happening? All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and until next time, may be the master of your own universe.
My favorite things I've ever done are episode 6 and episode 8 of anything. And I just can't wait for people to see them.